What is going on, guys? This is Joseph Conlon coming to you tonight with an AEW Dynamite review from last night. But before I start off with the review, I said last night that we changed plans that June would be here covering AEW. So most of you guys are probably, some of you guys who are watching this video are probably thinking, why isn't June here and Joseph's here? I'm here because June was watching Crown Jewel today, and then he had to do some Halloween as festivities for since today's Halloween, give out candy, all that stuff, all the good Halloween stuff. Eddie has been super busy with his work lately. He works his ass off, and I can't blame him for that. Working is very important. Us as young teenagers, we're gonna have to buy cars and all that stuff soon, so we need to work. So I can't blame him for that. So you guys got me again tonight for AEW Dynamite. I hope all of you are enjoying your Halloween holiday today. I know some of you watched the WWE main roster pay-per-view Crown Jewel, and I know I didn't because I didn't have any interest in it, so no reason for me to watch Crown Jewel. So that's the Halloween Crown Jewel conversation. Let's dive right into last night's AEW Dynamite show from Charleston, West Virginia. This show kicked off with Adam Hangman Page versus the best ever Sammy Guevara. Man, do I love that nickname. The best ever. You know, nicknames like that could get you pretty good heel heat. Like the fact that Sammy Guevara calls himself the best ever, people are gonna hate you for that. Yes, Shane McMahon called himself the best in the world when he was a heel, but he was overexposed, and we see him every single week in these crappy storylines, and he's not getting heel heat. He's getting go away heat from the fans. Sammy Guevara, having him be the best ever is gonna get heel heat. So I had to mention that just because I wanted to, and I had it down in my notes. As for the match, though, this was a great match to open up AEW Dynamite. 15-minute, nice fast-paced match with Guevara and Hangman, with Guevara getting a couple near falls, and then Adam Hangman Page hitting his lariat at the end over the top rope into the lariat clothesline for the 1-2-3 over Sammy Guevara. And after the match, Hangman cut a promo. Hangman said that next Saturday at Baltimore, Hangman is going to bring his cowboy shit, and he's going to knock Pac's head off. Nice and simple. All great stuff. Gets you excited for Hangman Page versus Pac next Saturday. I know these guys are going to deliver. They delivered on the first AEW Dynamite show, so I see no worries with these guys doing it once again at Full Gear next week. So with that being said, Hangman Page defeated Sammy Guevara in a really good match. Then we had Hikaru Shida versus Shenna. And going into this, I didn't know who Shenna was. I had no background information on her. And first part of the match, I'm like, okay, this is slow, boring. Not boring, but slow. Finn Balor was on at that time for NXT, so I watched him. And then once he came off, I started paying more attention to this match, and it got really good at the end. Shenna had a not a star. I don't know if I should say star-making performance, but she had a really great performance that, caught people's eyes. So that I like a lot. Hikaru Shida picked up the victory with a running knee. it might have been a little sloppy of a finish because she hit a Falcon Arrow and Shanna slowly kicked out, and then she hit like a running knee, and it was like, stay down so that I could pin you, something like that. And Sheeta picks up the victory over Shanna. It was a good match. It was slow. I would have taken a few minutes off of this and added it to the main event, which I'll talk about later. Whew, last night, the AEW segments were off the charts. They were excellent, I thought. And it started off with my boy Chris Van Fleet. Shout out to him. Standing in the middle of the stage, and he introduced the Rock and Roll Express, who were holding the AEW Tag Team Championships, and they were like, it's great to be back in Charleston. They were over with the crowd, and all of a sudden, Santana and Ortiz came out to attack the Rock and Roll Express, and they put Rick Gibson through the stage, and they got booed out of the building. And I loved every second of it. I loved it. This is another reason this is how you get heel heat. Taking out old legends that people love so much is going to make you hate the people that took out the legends. So in that case, people legitimately hate Santana and Ortiz for this, and they're going to want the Young Bucks to kick their ass at Full Gear probably. I loved it. This was fantastic. So that's the first segment with the Rock and Roll Express and Santana and Ortiz. Fantastic stuff in that. We got into a 6-man tag team match with QT Marshall, John Silver, and I'm not sure the other guy's name, but his last name's Reynolds, versus the Best Friends and Orange Cassidy, who dressed up as Ricky and Morty for Halloween. This was a comedy match. This was fine. Orange Cassidy is pure gold. I don't know how people dislike him. The guy is amazing. He's one of my favorites right now. I don't understand how people don't like Orange Cassidy, but if you have a different opinion over Orange Cassidy than me, it's whatever. If you want to, we could talk about it on Twitter, whatever. But this was fun. It showcased the Best Friends in Cassidy, and they got the victory. Pretty good stuff right there. My highlight of the night from AEW Dynamite, we had the Full Gear contract signing between Chris Jericho and Cody. And AEW did 3 fantastic things in this segment. Number 1, the contract signing was on stage and not in the ring. And that felt new and fresh, and I liked it a lot. Number 2, there was no brawling after the contract signing, putting people through a table, the table that they signed a contract on. They didn't mock the match. They didn't mock the championship. This was professional, how real athletes should do it, and they got the job done with that part. So that's a huge thumbs up right there. The third and final part was the stuff with the Inner Circle on Titantron. Sammy Guevara was on the camera. He's like, Cody, we have a little surprise for you. And it was Jake Hager beating the crap out of Dustin Rhodes. And Dustin had his arm in between the door and the front seat of the vehicle. And Hager slammed the door onto Dustin's arm. And that looked painful. That looked like it really hurt, man. Oh my God. So the last great thing about that was that segment attacking Dustin, and possibly it starts a new feud between Jake Hager and Dustin Rhodes. So that's pretty cool. This was the best part of the night, in my opinion. This was fantastic. Once again, it got you hyped for Chris Jericho and Cody at Full Gear. This is going to be awesome. And they just added a stipulation where they're going to have a 60-minute time limit, and they're going to have 3 judges. If the match goes over 60 minutes, it's going to be the judges who decide who's going to be the victor of this match. And I like that stipulation a lot, because I could tell AEW does not like DQ finishes or count-out finishes, whatever you want to call it. They want to have a definitive winner between Cody and Chris Jericho. They're making this match a huge deal. And it is a huge deal. And it's going to be fantastic at Full Gear in Baltimore. 6-man tag action, second one of the night. Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks versus Kip Sabian and Helico and Jack Evans, with all 3 of them making their TNT debuts. Before I start talking about the match, I want to talk about one individual in this match who I am a huge, huge fan of. And that man is Mr. Kip Sabian. I am a huge fan of Kip Sabian from seeing him at Double or Nothing with his match against Sammy Guevara, and Hangman Page with his match against Hangman at Fight for the Fallen. I thought they were both fantastic. Heel or babyface, I think the guy could be good at both. His wrestling ability is fantastic, and he's got a really good look. I'm a huge fan of Kip Sabian, and I hope to see him more on AEW Dynamite. But as for the match, pretty good action between the Elite and Jack Evans, and in Helico and Kip Sabian. The Elite ended up picking up the victory over Kip Sabian, Jack Evans, and Helico. And it was a pretty obvious outcome. So that's that with that. The Elite pick up the victory. 2 more segments to go over, and then I will be done. We had Peter Avalon in the ring, and then Jon Moxley just came out through the crowd, gave him a Death Rider, and he cut a really intense promo. Last night after Dynamite, I tweeted out, Jon Moxley over Dean Ambrose any day. WWE dropped the ball on this guy, and it came back to bite them in the butt big time. This right here, this is the Jon Moxley we wanted to get in WWE. Did we get that? No. Jon Moxley in AEW is a badass. And with his match at Full Gear with Kenny Omega now being non-sanctioned, it's going to be a bloody war in Baltimore. And I love the fact that they showed the clip of Jon Moxley going to Tony Khan's office, and Khan saying that the match with Kenny is non-sanctioned, and Moxley was all pissed. It's like, you don't want to hurt your boy Kenny Omega, so you're not going to put this on his win-loss record. I see how it is now. Kenny Omega's blood is on your hands. I loved it. I loved that line, and Kenny Omega's blood is on Tony Khan's hands, and they're going to absolutely destroy each other in Baltimore, and I can't wait for that. That is going to be amazing to see. Main event time, we had SCU, Frankie Xavier and Scorpio Sky versus the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon and Phoenix for the vacant AEW Tag Team Championships. The winners would be crowned the first ever AEW Tag Team Champions. This was fast-paced, non-stop action for 15 minutes. One commercial involved. Scorpio Sky once again killed it in this match. I felt like everybody killed it in this match, but Scorpio Sky was my MVP of this match. The ending result was Pentagon getting rolled up by Scorpio Sky, Frankie Kazarian holding back Rey Fenix, and what a swerve. What a freaking swerve. SCU defeated the Lucha Brothers to become the first ever AEW Tag Team Champions. I totally did not expect that. I totally did not expect that. I thought the Lucha Brothers was going to win, and they would continue to feud, but it looks like they're still going to continue to feud with SCU as the Tag Team Champions. And I do see these two tag teams doing it again at Full Gear next week. My one complaint that I said I was going to save for here was I felt like the Shena Hikaru Shida match took way too long, and they should have taken off time for that onto this match. Because I don't think, currently first ever AEW Tag Team Champions, it should not be a 15-minute match. It should have gone 20 plus minutes, in my opinion. It should have been a classic. It should have been probably the best tag team match in the entire tag team tournament. But the match was still awesome. But that's my only complaint. I wish they would have added more time onto this to give these two tag teams more spotlight. That is the AEW Dynamite review for tonight on your Halloween night. Thank you guys for joining me. Please make sure to subscribe to the Big Fight Feel channel for some great content. Make sure you like this video with a super kick. Turn on notifications. Follow me on Twitter at Joseph Conlon. Follow Eddie on Twitter at Eddie Mullen. We'll figure out who's going to do SmackDown this week and the Sunday news and rumors video. Or we could have something else. We're not sure yet. But with Full Gear being next week, I'm sure that you guys will see Eddie back on the channel next week. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching this video, and have a good night, guys.